So I'm gonna take you along my daily trading routine in the stock market. Start recording. Good. So part of my morning routine, 30 minutes ago, I sent out my pre-market watch list to the team over inside my mentorship group. I do this every morning. I send out a list of 3 to 4 stocks, essentially just covering one of these setups that I teach. So I trade about 5 different setups. So on each one of these stocks, I did identify one of my setups. So again, the idea here is to just kind of put in the work for my students to show them that, what I teach in the mastery class can really be found on a daily basis in the market. And then I'll be keeping an eye on those stocks throughout the day to see if those setups do end up lining up and I could go about putting on a position. So I am a swing trader. Now, what that means is that I am spending essentially the last hour of the day during open active market hours trading. That is the majority of my time spent on the market. That is when I will be entering any positions. And then in the first 30 minutes of market open, that is typically when I am going to close my position. So say I enter a trade today, I'm going to swing that through the night and close that trade tomorrow morning or within the next 3 to 5 days, which is my optimal hold period or my optimal swing period. Now, the rest of my day is essentially spent coaching and working with the students over inside my mentorship group, helping them become consistently profitable traders. So I spend a lot of my time actually teaching. So either way, my day is spent trading in one form or another, or it's me actively trading through Power Hour or monitoring a position. I hope that makes sense and kind of clears up where the rest of my day goes when I'm really only spending an hour to 2 hours a day trading. So the market opened in the red today. SPY, QQQ currently red. IWM, we saw this pretty large rally off the open and is currently sitting in the green. So it looks like we're getting a little bounce here, but we'll see what happens. I'm just gonna be taking you guys along my day in the life as a full-time day trader. I hope you guys do enjoy. Let's go. So I thought I'd get out. I've been super active on the market the last couple of days. So why not take some time and explore what it's like here in Florida since I did just move here. So I'm gonna go check out this lighthouse right now. All right, so it is 1:40. Let's check in on the market. All right, so it is Power Hour. Now, this is gonna be like a 30,000 foot view, so this video doesn't take an hour to record. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is just check on the overall market here. You can see across the board, it is a very, very red day. So I am looking at 2 stocks right now. Okay, ticker symbol BAX, you can see on my screen, and then ticker symbol AL. Now, let's talk about what I see here. So when it comes to my style of trading, I have about 5 different setups. What do I mean by a setup? Well, in short, I've explained this before, but I'm looking at the trend, I'm looking at the pattern, and then I'm using a series of moving averages as reference points, if you will, to then determine what is the setup here I see on this chart. So what I see here on ticker symbol AL is what I like to call a low bounce. So I do all my work on the 4 hour. Okay, we're looking back over the last 180 days. And you can see we just formed a low today at 34.36. So low bounce, essentially the idea here is that I'm looking to capitalize on a move off of that all-time low on the 4 hour and work back up to another resistance level using that all-time low as support. So essentially I'm going long on a chart. I'm getting stopped out if we break the all-time low, and I'm looking to play that margin up to the next resistance level. So if we reference my master sizing, now these are the 5 setups that I'm trading right now. Setup number 2 is going to be my low bounce. Now I have a 75% win rate on this setup, with my average winner being 22.03% and my average loser being 8.93%. One thing I don't like here is that this chart is pretty choppy, okay? Yes, we have the high at 46.20 and the low at 34.36. This chart is overall looking very bearish, right? And we look at the more immediate trend looking, at the last couple of months, we have been continuously selling off, forming this very clear pattern of lower lows and lower highs. As far as moving averages, 50-day SMA is not being respected. That just means when it comes to price movement, are candles actually treating that moving average as a support or a resistance level? In this case, no. When it comes to the 50-day and the 180-day, I would also say no. But the 15-day EMA, on the other hand, you can see over the last couple weeks has been trailing overhead, acting as a resistance level. You can see we came off the 15-day EMA, okay, formed a lower low, pushed, rejected, pulled back, pushed, rejected, pulled back, lower low, pushed, rejected, and then we just pulled back into another low. So what I'd like to see here is essentially a continuation of this pattern. I'd be looking to capitalize on a continuation of this pattern, on a move off of this new low we just formed today up into the 15-day EMA, okay, at which point I would take profit, knowing that we continue forming this very clear pattern of lower highs and lower lows, like I was saying, with the 15-day acting as resistance. So I could go about saying, hey, okay, I'm going to set my stop loss here, okay, at 34.36. Now that is going to be my all-time low. If we break that, I am out. This would be the 5th time that we will have continued this pattern. And then I could say, all right, my target will be here at 36.07, roughly where the 15-day EMA is. Okay, and then we can kind of chart out the margin for profit that is presented on the chart. That is different than the margin for profit on the contracts, but we would be working with about 1.36% move to the downside. That's where we'd get stopped out. And then our margin for profit would be about 3.53%. And I just wanted to check in on the overall market as we are sitting about 17 minutes off of the close. We just formed a new low across the board. Okay, so let's be aware, just for reference, this is SPY on the 4-hour. Today has been a very red day. Okay, I'm 100% liquid. Again, I'm totally cash. I have no positions on. I've just been waiting this week to see if there is opportunity in the market. Now, if we look at AAL, it's like on the 1 minute here. All right, today we formed that all-time low at 34.36. So let's go ahead and actually simulate out this position. If I was going to take this trade on ticker symbol AL, we've got our stop loss at 34.36. We only have one test of this resistance level. That 34.36 level was formed today. So knowing that this won't be a very strong level of support, because again, the intention is obviously the more tests of a support or resistance level, the more, I guess, validation there is for that level to hold. Okay, we've seen multiple times, 3, 4, 5 times that support has held, or we've rejected off that resistance. That's just going to give us more confirmation that that level will hold. So we only have one test again of that level. Let's just keep that in mind. But again, the intention would be to play a move back up to that 15-day EMA. Again, considering this is the low bounce. So here's the problem. When it comes to ticker symbol AL, there is very little to no volume on these contracts. You can see NA, okay, October 20th contracts, just a little volume, a lot of NAs, so no volume at all. November, no volume. February, no volume. In short, I will not be able to put on a position on ticker symbol AL due to the fact that there is no volume on these contracts. I knew that right off the bat, but I wanted to walk you guys through the process from a charting perspective of what that would look like. So we're gonna have to take AL off of our list. We won't be able to put a position on it, like I said, due to the volume behind that stock. Okay, overall market bouncing off this low we just formed, a little bounce, okay. But again, we are just sinking right into the close. Again, I'm going to spend anywhere between an hour to 2 hours at the end of the day identifying first a stock that I want to look at further, and then identifying the trend, the pattern, looking at these moving averages that I use as reference points to, hey, is there a setup here or not? If I see a setup, if I can identify a trade, here's where I would be wrong, here's where I'm going to be right, and I put that all together, well, then great. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna reference my master sizing, I'm gonna pull up some contracts, I'm gonna then simulate out that trade. I'm gonna simulate out that position based off of my average hold period and based off of that stop loss and take profit. And then I will try to find the optimal risk to reward, and my system in place that I use to manage risk allows me to trade that variable risk to reward. And then I also have to make sure at the same time that my risk exposure, right, my average winner and average loser behind the setup and knowing the win rate as well behind the setup, well, that has to fall in line with how much I'm actually going to make or lose on the contract. So that was my best way at explaining what my power hour looks like. And this is like the majority of my trading in the stock market, because the rest of the time is essentially going to just be me monitoring my position. First 30 minutes off market open, am I going to hit my stop loss or take profit? I'm pretty active for like 30 minutes to an hour in the morning off of market open. And then I have my alerts set, and then it could take a day or it could take a week for me to hit my stop loss or take profit, depending. Now, I know that was a lot to cover, but I hope you guys did take away some value from this. So if your goal is to start trading and making money in the stock market, I actually put together a mentorship group in which you will have access to my personal trading callouts. So anytime I'm entering a trade, I will post that position. Anytime I'm exiting that trade, I will post that position, which essentially just gives you the ability to mirror my exact trades. Now, along with that, you'll have access to my coaching and guidance inside the private Discord server. That is where I post my calls. And then lastly, you will have access to a library of 30 plus videos breaking down my entire trading system and strategy. So all the setups that I trade, how I manage risk, how I approach the markets from a psychological standpoint, essentially everything that I've learned after trading for the last 6 years has been condensed into a video library for yourself. Now, if that is of interest, all you have to do is click the link in the description below. It will be the first link, which will take you over to our website. Click the apply now button and fill out your information. And if you are accepted, I look forward to working with you.